Did you know the average bank robbery lasts only 10 minutes? Yeah, 10 minutes to plan your escape, dodge the cops, and hopefully not end up on some security guard's TikTok. But what if I told you there was a robbery so big, so perfectly executed, that it took over £26 million, and the money was never recovered? Yeah, today we're talking about the Northern Bank robbery, one of the biggest heists in UK and Irish history. And trust me, this one's straight out of a movie. Alright, let's set the scene. It's December 2004 in Belfast, Northern Ireland. People are out shopping, getting ready for Christmas, and meanwhile, a bunch of criminals are out here pulling off one of the wildest bank heists ever caught on camera. This thing was so insane that even the police were like, wait, what just happened? But the craziest part? Two bank employees, Chris Ward and Kevin McMullen, weren't just witnesses. They were forced to do it. Okay, so here's where things get dark. This wasn't some run-in with a ski mask and scream at the teller type of robbery. No, this was straight-up hostage-level criminal masterminding. On the night of December 19th, a group of masked men broke into the homes of two Northern Bank employees, Chris Ward and Kevin McMullen. They kidnapped them, held their families hostage, and told them, tomorrow, you're gonna rob your own bank. Or else. Yeah. Not exactly your standard bad day at work, huh? But here's the real kicker, these guys had no choice. They had to act normal the next morning at work, knowing full well that at closing time, they'd be handing over millions to these criminals. And just like that, game on. Alright, let's break down how this whole thing went down, because honestly, the sheer level of planning here. Mind-blowing. Step 1, take hostages. Done. Step 2, force employees to comply. Done. Step 3, make sure no alarms are tripped. Also done. These guys weren't just stealing money. They were controlling the entire narrative of the crime. So, December 20th. Chris and Kevin show up to work like nothing's wrong, but inside. Full-blown panic mode. At the end of the day, they let the criminals in and, with zero resistance, start handing over £26.5 million in cash. That's about $50 million USD if you want to feel extra broke today. Now, this is where things get wild. Because this wasn't just some low-quality CCTV footage of a dude in a hoodie. The robbery was caught on high-resolution security cameras, and what's even crazier? The sheer calmness of it all. No alarms. No rushing. No breaking into vaults with a sledgehammer. It was smooth. Like, I do this every day, kind of smooth. And for law enforcement, that made things 10 times harder. Because this wasn't some dumb criminals screwing up halfway through kind of situation. No, these guys were calculated. The entire thing was methodically executed, down to the last second. Okay, so obviously, when £26 million suddenly vanishes, the cops get involved. But here's the thing, there were no fingerprints, no alarms, and barely any evidence. The only witnesses, Chris and Kevin, the victims, who are now being questioned as potential suspects. Yeah, imagine being traumatized by a hostage situation, and the police are like, hey man, did you do it? Meanwhile, the police start digging into theories. Some said it was an inside job. Others claimed it was linked to the IRA. But with no hard evidence, the case dragged on for years. Arrests were made, people got questioned, but the money? Still missing. Seriously, someone out there could still be sitting on millions of pounds from this robbery. If any of y'all suddenly got rich in 2005, I got questions. So, let's recap. A bank robbery so perfectly planned that even law enforcement couldn't figure it out. Two employees forced to commit the crime against their will. And £26 million that just vanished into thin air. Even today, the case remains unsolved. No one knows exactly where the money went, who masterminded it, or if the robbers are out there living their best lives with stacks of cash under their mattresses. But what do you think? Was this an inside job? A secret criminal syndicate? Or just the luckiest robbers in history? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and while you're at it, check out my other true crime videos. Like, subscribe, and remember, maybe don't work at a bank. Just in case.